Don't normally start videos like this, but it's been quite a long time, so I kind of need to say that I'm back again. It's been a bit of a tricky few months, dealing with kind of changing jobs and things, not through choice, I will add, and all sorts of bits and pieces. I lost a lot of motivation and drive to get in the workshop and do anything, which has resulted in the workshop becoming a bit of a bomb site. Things not really getting done that needed to be done, kind of projects that I'd started to keep myself going being kind of just dragged out and taking forever. But I'm hoping I can actually get back on it and get stuff done now. So I'm going to start getting on and trying to finish these guitars, which should have really been finished about 4 months ago. And the video is going to start with me doing something. It's been so long I can't actually remember what I was doing in the last video, so chances are I'll be sat here looking a bit hairier and doing something odd with maybe a chisel, or I don't know. I'll find out at the same time as you. Be interesting. So back to the Phoenix Graduates. I don't know whether I've actually used that name before. I think I've called them the Phoenix Junior for a while, haven't I? If I haven't called them the Phoenix Graduate yet, it's renamed so I don't get sued by Gibson. And my graduate model used to be the kind of double cut junior model that I was doing, so I thought it fitted quite well. I'm finally back after fixing my computer, so I need to kind of recap on what I've been doing in the meantime. I think the last bit of video I did, I was still fighting with overcrowded SD cards, and I got all the frets in. Since then I've tidied up the ends of the frets. I've not shaped anything, I've just cut them flush, and I've actually made a start carving a couple of the necks. So this one here is fully carved, and this one is half carved. The other one, which is currently still out of shot, is not even slightly carved. Haven't touched that yet. But I sanded this one as well as carving it, so it's nice and smooth, and this is pretty much ready for headstock inlay, tuner holes, and gluing into a body now. Although I might do some work on the frets before I glue it in. That's probably a good idea. It saves me slipping and damaging the body. The heel of these, I've been trying to kind of get a nice, smooth, kind of clean heel that disappears into the body. So this is the body for this neck, and if I slot these in like this, and to turn it to face the camera, you can see what I'm talking about there. So this end should sit slightly proud of the body because I've got to round it in ever so slightly. I don't want a very sharp corner, but I also don't really want to have it totally disappearing into the body, because any sanding then makes that a little bit awkward. It can make for a slightly strange glue join. And this end down here, obviously the curve just kind of sweeps nicely into there. I'm aiming for this look on all of them. The two single cuts will be just like this. The double cut body will be a little bit more awkward because I've got to take more material off here and blend that in. I've also got to find a nice curve that kind of matches these but obviously isn't going to match them exactly because there's a different shape to the body. So I'll get to that, but initially I think the first thing I need to do is finish carving this neck and get this one fitted to the mahogany body. So without nattering on too much, I think I'm going to clamp this up and probably recap a bit of footage of carving this side, which I believe I still have, and then start carving this side. So in theory you should now fade out and fade into me stood at a vice carving. If I made that look really easy, it's kind of because I do this all day, every day. I carve a lot of the necks that come out of PJD guitars. I also carve quite a lot of the T-built Seth Backer's necks, and I carve quite a lot of the Cream Tea guitars necks. They tend to come off the CNC with the majority of this profile done, and I just have to kind of carve in the shoulders and the transitions. But that's pretty much my day job. So that's the profile that I'm going for. It's nice and even all the way along. A profile gauge like this is a really useful tool. You can use it to check in a few places and make sure you don't have any kind of weird ridges or unevenness to the carve, or if you want an asymmetrical carve you can check that you're getting it. I recommend getting one of these if you carve the necks. But that's pretty much ready for sanding now. Now, initial sanding I will do with a 120 strip of sandpaper, and if you sort of seen, it was on a previous video, I think it was when I was doing the base neck, I demonstrated that basically you get a lot of kind of flat facets as you're carving, and to round those in and smooth off the profile you can use a long strip of fairly stiff sandpaper like this as a strop. And if you do that as you go up through the grits, it helps keep a really nice, clean, smooth neck profile. Yeah, there's no lumps. So that's pretty much ready for sanding, which I think I'll spare you the sanding montage, because firstly it's incredibly boring, and secondly, if I take this to work with me and in my lunch break or after hours use the Merkur air sanders that I've got there, I'll be able to do this in about half the time it would take me to do it with my kind of old electric sander, and about a quarter of the time it would take me to do it if I was to do it all by hand. So we'll just move on and we'll go through and carve the other neck, which is going to involve marking out the heel and things as well, so we'll get on with that montage next.